Welcome everybody. Aim today is to share a little bit information about our access control program and all the changes related to that. We have 2 hours reserved for this, and we are aiming that we have a very kind of discussion session today. So please don't hesitate to contact or question or ask any questions that comes to your mind, and you can ask or question, put comments in the chat. Pia and Milla are facilitating that, and then they are commenting that forward because I can't see the chat at the moment. Or then you can just ask and comment. So everywhere during this session, so you don't have to wait at the end of the session. So please ask and please comment. Welcome everybody. Today our agenda is to basically learn about this access control project, about the new access control policy, which we are implementing, and then all the linkages to Aalto strategy. That's very important.
Mutta siis se riittää kustannuslaskennan kannalta riittää se, että kuinka monta painonpistettä sä haluat tehdä Elekin sähkökonesalin alueelle. Esimerkiksi lukumääränä 4.
Milla and Pia, could you mute?
Anu, sulla on mikki auki.
Yes, thank you. Then we are talking a little bit more about the flexible and secure working environment that we are implementing with this big program. And then there is the brief about the entire program, what we are actually doing and what is coming when. So welcome everybody. Now let's start with the Ilkka's presentation and what he has to say about the topic, which is very important since Ilkka is the sponsor of the whole change. Very good. Ilkka, you are muted.
Yes, thank you, Satu. Great to be here. Have this kind of an opportunity to, give you some background thinking. Let me just share. Do you see my slides already?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. So the topic today is access control. Looks like a very technical topic. So, who can enter buildings? What kinds of systems used to lock doors, manage keys, and so on. I was sort of thinking that it might be a nice way of looking at from a bit wider perspective. So when we're talking about buildings and access, then we're talking about our campus. And as you know, when we were doing our strategy work and identify the big issues for our development, it turned out not as a surprise that actually campus plays a key role in our strategy. Of course, it's one of our key enablers. It is the fabric that supports our research, education, and impact. Then it is about, in particular, in impact, it has an important role to play because we see that the impact comes very strongly if we can build and around as a collaboration hub that actually brings all the key actors, makes it possible for us to really work in close collaboration with many stakeholders. And this collaboration is very crucial for our purpose, shaping a sustainable future, because there the challenges are all systemic. They are solved in collaboration, and it needs a lot of partners and a wide network. And because of this, it was no surprise that our community, when it looked at its values, chose 3 values responsibility, courage, and collaboration as a foundation for our organizational culture. And when you talk about culture, then it's collaboration, then it's also about premises. So access to premises, a technical topic, but my claim is that a very strategic topic as well. So if we want to drive our purpose, be true to our values, then we need to take collaboration very seriously. Then it's about, campus enabling and facilitating collaboration. And then, of course, it is about an open campus, common spaces, shared facilities and infrastructures, connecting our community, enabling encounters with stakeholders, but also within the community, help collaboration and drive co-creation and creativity that are so vital for our long-term success. So technical issues need to be taken, viewed and addressed also from a strategic point of view. And I think access policy is a case in point. So we have a quite massive campus renewal project going on where we have built new buildings and renovated buildings. And now it is time for us also to look at access control policies, redesign the access control processes. And of course there we have users in focus. The user experience needs to be improved. And then, of course, we want to take advantage of the new opportunities by digitalization and increase automation levels considerably, so that the focus is not in sort of manual work, which is not producing any added value in key management and so on, but in the real stuff that we do for our purpose. And then, if you look at this project, this program, strategically, the aim is support collaboration, enable encounters, and also improve transparency, openness, and inclusivity. And then what you will see in a moment is that there are certain changes, quite fundamental changes in our policy. Access control and access zones have been very locally designed and managed so far at Aalto, and many buildings have their own ways of setting, for example, access zones. Now, the proposal from the strategic point of view is to have a simple, unified structure for access zones, and it is the same across the campus. When we look at access policy, it needs to be transparent, so people know how it works, no matter where they go and with whom they collaborate, what is their working place in a particular time. And now, based on our values, it's based on trust and responsibility. So make it lean and simple and based it on trust. And then thirdly, the aim is to have wider access to common areas, but at the same time, take into account the different roles and needs that our personnel have, students, visitors, invited visitors, and then the general public. So that's the big picture. Let me just give you a kind of a sneak preview what it means in practice, and then I'll let you ask some questions. The idea is that we will have 3 common access zones throughout the campus. So we have public areas, so public area zone, and this is open for public. They have restaurants, lecture halls, and stuff. Then common zone, which is accessible to staff and all students. They are lobbies and other common areas. Then there's a special area for staff, which is staff common area. It is staff only, but all Aalto staff and visiting staff. And this is break rooms, meeting rooms, corridors, but not offices. So offices are not in this zone. And then, of course, on top of these 3 areas, we do have special areas which have certain regulation, health and safety regulations and so on, and also special requirements by our customers, like labs, workshops, certain research areas, IT rooms, and then we are renting out also areas. And there the access rights are specially granted according to a separate policy. So these are actually managed according to the special needs in these areas. But the idea is that, that if there's no particular reason why an area needs to be a special area, in the special area zone, then it will be one of these other three areas. And we have, and this is how wider access is now being provided for the common areas. So what is going on, and you will see details about this in a moment. Satu will explain. We are implementing this gradually, building by building, and taking into account feedback, but also now, unfortunately, the corona situation. We need to take that into account because this is also something where we need to look at the access control. So that's basically some initial ideas for this info sharing session, and I'm happy to take questions, comments, concerns, feedback. So please go ahead. Let me stop sharing. I can see the chat. Any comments?
No, we have a good amount of people in the call, so any questions now regarding the access policy, please bring it forward.
Everything is clear, so I'm really happy. Or then I didn't do a good job in explaining what the initial idea is. But I think I'm actually I'll be able to attend the meeting for the first hour. So if there are further questions, comments related to the big picture, I'm happy to take those also at the later stage. Now some chat. Okay, this is for you, Satu. What schedule do we anticipate to cover all the buildings on our campus? How much time it will take?
Yeah, I will answer that question in my presentation. Thanks.
Very good.
Very good question.
Then we need to. There's a question related to Corona situation and how that is taken into account. Seija will add, also talk about that quite a lot. And now we have some restrictions. How we, as you know, we have gone through all our premises and limited the number of seats available in different locations so that we have distancing. And of course, now we need to look at how, for example, students, what kinds of accesses services and so on. So, and these are now sort of specially designed in such a way that we can ensure that there are no big crowds in certain service points and so on. So that what Seija will explain the details there. Teaching spaces are now there's restricted access to those, yes, and we have some authorities recommendations how to do that, but of course we aim to have as open a campus as possible, but at the moment, as you know, we are in a situation where the remote mode is actually recommended, and this is also part of this how Corona situation has been taken into account.
Yo, can I answer there was a question about these offices?
Yes, go ahead, Satu.
This is the original slide about the staff common premises, and it's excluding offices, and that actually means those private working rooms, but then open offices where there's flexi places, that is part of the staff common area.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Excellent. Very good questions. Let's move on. And if there are further questions, I'm happy to take them also later. So Satu, please.
Okay, thank you. Did we have Seija in the call?
No, unfortunately, Seija is not here.
She had some problems with the Zoom, but we are trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so then can you let us know when the Seija is back? So maybe then we jump to my section and then let Seija talk about the corona impact to the policy.
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Tell me when you see the screen.
It's there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now about the summary or brief. It's not brief, it's a little bit longer than brief, but brief anyway about the practical things that what is happening. This is an executive summary that I've been through in all of the school kickoffs that we have held together in the team, and within also in other kind of management team briefs that I have been talking about access control. So what is this about in practice? Let's start from the left. So basically, we are installing new access readers for 21 buildings. We have 28 buildings in the campus, but 7 of them already contain these new Abloy OS readers, and we don't have to install them for those. But for 21 buildings, yes. We are distributing new access tokens for all campus users. We have about 25,000 campus users, and we are distributing new tokens for majority of them. We are organizing a new token pickup and drop-off points. Basically, at the moment, they are lobby services, and that is probably also the permanent solution. And then we have this new self-service portal, which we are implementing at the moment. Those 3 first bullets are the first kind of initial idea what was going to be the scope of this project or program. But then the discussion continued in the steering groups. I think it was a digital Aalto steering group when the discussion took place. And then the aim is that we are actually taking quantum leap in access control in Aalto. So then the new access policy is added to the project, as well as the automation. So we are implementing, first of all, this new access policy was defined, and then we are implementing those 4 access zones that Ilkka was presenting earlier. And then, since we are seeking this quantum leap, we have defined a completely new access control process. It has been approved by process owners and all the stakeholders, and I'm very happy about that. I hope everybody else is also happy about that once that is in place and implemented. And to make sure that we can actually do the quantum leap, we are developing new integrations to this Abloy operating system, which is the actual system where all these tokens are managed. And we are also developing a lot of new other things, ensuring that we can actually do the jump. I will talk about those more in detail later. I want you to know them. And by all of these, we are actually enabling a more safe and secure working environment for all campus users. And why are we doing this? If we start from the bottom, so basically existing access infrastructure, both hardware and software, is very outdated and really need to be replaced. And I think all of they are very complicated laborers and takes a long time, and sometimes you don't even know that what is happening behind the doors. And since this is now linked to all the strategies, so we have this open campus and shared spaces in this my slide, but like Ilkka was saying, that it's very heavily linked with this collaboration, and I don't know what is good translation for törmäyttäminen, but that is very, very, very much linked to our project here. From the right side corner on the top, when are we doing this? So basically, whole this year is our plan. At the moment, we have now installed 78% of all of the new readers. So that is, we are on the home stretch in that, but we have still quite some work to be done in this development area that I will talk a little bit later. This is our link to our webpage. So this is the short link, aalto.fi/access control. So please take that as a bookmark and visit that every now and then. We are aiming that we are keeping all the latest information in that page. And those were the first buildings that we have been installing the new readers. And like Ilkka was saying, we are actually implementing the policy gradually building by building. So all these already developed solutions and as well as the policies, they are getting implemented building by building. Yeah. And to whom? I mentioned that this is for 25,000 people, so all faculty and all staff members. We are distributing new tokens for them, and you can get them from the lobby services or IT service desk. And we are maintaining this information in our webpage that which buildings lobby services are offering these new tokens. For students, we have the HSL card solution that has been already in place for the existing Apply OAS buildings, for example, Väre, Kauppis, and Tipoli, or the Oppimiskeskus. But we know that HSL has changed their principle in that sense that during this fall, during this autumn, the student allowance, students will get the student allowance from the HSL application straight, so that they don't need the card anymore. And we are searching at the moment new tokens that we could also start distributing for students. For on-site service providers, basically maintenance guys and cleaners, so for them we are also distributing new tokens, and they will get them from ACRE or from the designated lobby services. We have quite a lot of tenants within these 28 buildings. They are mostly company tenants, and for them we are also distributing new tokens from ACRE or designated lobby services. And this is the wonderful thing that these new access readers that we are installing, they are actually supporting mobile access. So we are piloting that with co-working customers at the moment, so that you only have the certain application in your phone, and then that will open the door for you once you reach the certain distance from the door or from the reader. And we are then, after this project, the aim is to further develop so that the mobile access would be usable for faculty and staff and students, which is very good news. Then for visitors, I'm a visitor. I'm a consultant from Soficate, and I have a visitor role, but I have an equivalent access right than the staff. And then visitors will also get the new token from the lobby services. And the aim is that for the guests which are on site, on premises for 2-hour meeting or something like that, there is no token for them. They need to move with the hosts at the campus. I propose that I do so that I continue talking until you stop me. So please just ask questions whenever needed, whenever something comes, or put in the chat so Milla and Pia can comment.
Yeah, here is one question in the chat channel.
Yep.
About the spaces. Also, some teaching spaces are to be locked from the public. How is the law-based public right to follow education and reasonable restrictions of it weighed, and by whom?
Yeah, so
there are students involved in some meetings. How do they enter if meeting rooms are in staff zone?
Yeah, those are the first of the comment was related for the education for the rooms where we offer education. So majority of the big lecture lecture halls are in this public zone. But if we have, for example, a PhD seminar or something like that on the common zone, then we need to make sure that lobby services can open the door, or then we can organize via ACRE that the doors are open during that time. And then for the other, if there are meetings, those are then kind of exceptions. So all the exceptions we are able to handle. So at the moment with this new Abloy OS system, all these exceptions can be handled very easily, and it doesn't take a long time. I will talk about that a little bit later. What does it mean in practice? Good. Then I will move forward. So these are just as a reminder, if you haven't seen them yet. So from the left side, you can see this is the access reader, how it looks like. We have a new access token. It's either red or blue or black, this round one. And we have also offered card-shaped tokens for staff. And then for students at the moment, it's the existing HSL card, the blue one, which can be used also for public transportation. But this older version of the HSL card is also working for access control in Aalto. So either one of them is working. Then access changes per building. So like I mentioned, we have 21 buildings where the access readers are installed, and then 7 buildings where we only do the access zone definition. And here is the color coding per school, or if there is these common shared spaces, Otakari, Dipoli basically, and Oppimiskeskus. We have also combined school kickoff for each of the building, which is the first building per school. So now we have completed all schools school kickoffs, and you can see that we don't have a lot anymore left to be installed. We have a couple of buildings, 7 buildings still left to be installed, those new readers. And then we have those existing Abloy OS buildings where we do the access zone definition only. So far we have completed access zone definition for Metallimiehen 4, Otakari 5, Economy Aukio 1, and then Otanimentie 14. And we have identified, since these existing readers in these buildings, they are a little bit, they are previous generation, so they don't support the mobile access. And if we notice that this access zone is not compatible with these new with the existing access readers, so we will install this new. We will replace the old reader with the new reader. So, for example, in Otanimentie 14, we had this access zone definition meeting yesterday, and we identified that there will be 26 readers that will be replaced. Then it's important that I can mention here. So this was part of the public procurement. Caverian is the company who is doing the installments, and it's a quite fixed scope, what is part of the scope. So any additional installment that we have, for example, identified during the access zone definition. So if we identify that there needs to be additional access readers, so those will be done after September, as well as replacing of those access readers from these existing Abloy OS buildings. So those will be done after September.
Cool. So we have again a question in the chat channel.
Yeah.
In practice, I have a token for A-Grid, a card for Otakari 1, a card for the ITS private space in Otakari 1, 3rd floor. Can I combine these into one token card?
Yes.
Or card?
Yes. So aim is that all these, if any of you have access right to these existing Abloy OS buildings, so Värekauppis, Otakari 5, or oppimiskeskus, you don't have to go and get a new token. And then you can do the combining them into one in this self-service portal, which we are implementing. I will talk a little bit more in detail about that in a while. Aim in this project or program is to kind of lower the number of the access tokens, so that you don't have to have any more 17 different tokens, but you have only one. And one limitation I can comment that this scope of this project or program is these access tokens only. So no physical keys or no click keys are part of this project. So any existing ways for them will continue as they are at the moment, but the change will occur only for this access token related access.
We also have a question about the HL card. How students can get access if for some reason they can't get HLS card, for example, exchange students?
Yes, we have a very limited number of these old version of the HSL cards that we can give to those people who don't have the HSL card at all and who has no need to get that either. So for them we can provide this old version of the HSL card from IT service desk. We have very limited number of them, and for example we know that the certain students have gone and registered 7 HSL cards for themselves. So that's why we are very strict with that at the moment, since we need to provide access for all the students. And at the moment we are seeking this cheaper access token that we can then distribute to all the students. Very good questions. Then I will move forward. What does this change mean in practice for all different groups? If we start from the left, we are offering this self-service portal for all the persons with Aalto ID. So that will become as a platform for any token or access related changes. We are organizing drop-off and pick-up points for access tokens that they are very easy to get. So like Ilkka was saying, the user centricity is the kind of golden thread in our program, that we are doing our best to keep the end users happy. And then we are offering this improved security level for basically all the campus users, and wider possibilities to use. Like Ilkka was saying, that these staff common zones, they are open for all Aalto staff, and these common zones, they are open for all Aalto students and all staff. So the school kind of physical boundaries are now after this project part of the history. And that is part of here mentioning also for the faculty and staff. So with this change, this is an enabler for this one campus in practice. We are enabling access to other schools and other service units spaces. And with this offering possibility to increase the level of cooperation across schools and service units. For the faculty and staff, as well as for HR, this will remarkably shorten the lead time to get the access or do the changes for access, whether it's existing stuff or a new stuff. And then, like I mentioned, we are aiming to have a smaller amount of access tokens. For the students, this is also a big change. With this change, this will remove the physical barriers between the schools or departments. So with this change, students have access to all the schools' common zones and public zones. For the HR, I already mentioned, so this is a very big change for the HR onboarding and offboarding process from the access and access token point of view. So there will be significant time savings. I will talk a little bit more about that, I think, on the next page. And for the customers, at the bottom you can see this is tenants, co-working customers, on-site service providers, visitors, infra users, and short-term visitors. So for them, it's a smoother and a lot shorter way to get access and access tokens. And for the actual Aalto management, I hope that we also keep Ilkka very happy. So this will be really concrete enabler for one campus and also kind of Aalto cultural change, the physical enabler for that. This is also ISO and GDPR compliant, which is important in today's world, and part of the enabler for the digital campus and enabling kind of further development in that area as well. This is also a remarkable quantum leap for the access control and security people. So now there will be only one place to govern access. There will be new and modern interfaces to manage and monitor the security. The process is heavily automated. And this is a concrete example that at the moment there is still the €50 penalty if a person loses the access token. And that is because of the high amount of manual work that access control people need to do at the back office. But with this program, this 50-year penalty will disappear since most of the work is either automated or very well digitalized. Yes. The one part is also that we have an increased level of increased amount of data of campus users. So that is one thing that we have a traceability of the actions and more data of everything that happens on the campus, which increase the security. If no questions, this is then the overall schedule for the overall program. So like I mentioned, we have 21 buildings where we do the installing. I have defined that as the operative part for this project or program, plus the 7 buildings where we do the access zone definition and defining those additional readers or replacements that we do for those existing Abloy buildings. But then at the moment, we have also very big development project here that we are doing at the moment. So in this development project, we develop those new things that will enable the quantum leap. So in practice, in this access control program, we have one very big development project and 28 mini projects. And at the moment, we are seeing that we still need to continue this build phase a little bit, but we have a steering group meeting tomorrow, and there's a new schedule will be confirmed there, but the aim is still that we will complete the project by end of this year. Then these are the practical things that are developing. If we start from the left top, these are already completed. So we have integration from Workday to Abloy OS, and that is enabling that that staff and visitors access right is automated. So whenever there is a new person, new recruit joining to Aalto today, whenever his or her information is in Workday and this person has a user name in place, then he or she will have staff common access right automatically. He or she only needs to pick up the token and then to do the registration in the self-service portal. And the same logic applies to students. So we have an integration from Audi to Abloy OS already developed, and that there is the same logic. So once the new student comes to the campus and his or her information is in Audi, there is a access right automated to the common zone, which was the zones for the students. And then we have a developed integration from my courses to Abloy OS. We know that in arts school there is a lot of these machineries that require online induction. So once the person has completed the online induction in my courses and the it's pajamestari typically, those people who are managing the My Courses course. So once this person has approved the course, then the access right will be activated automatically to the person's access token. So these are already now in place, and this is already a huge quantum leap for the previous way of working. Then what is still in the pipeline to come, so the new access control process, which is taking into account all the other remaining stakeholders, that is now completed during summer, and then we are implementing that with those stuff on the right side. We are offering lots of training, and we are providing user guides and support materials, and that is work in progress at the moment. I will talk a little bit about that on the next page. If we start from the right side, we are changing the integration type. At the moment, there is a 30-minute delay with the existing integration type. But we are changing the integration type in such that it will allow instant changes. So once you go and register your token, it will be instantly available. Then, since we have lots of these different stakeholders, so for tenants and on-site service providers, we are developing existing Acre extranet in a way that they can manage their tokens from there after it's published to production. So in practice, it means that there can be either the end user of the tenants or super user at the tenant company who is managing the tokens and can add new persons and add tokens to persons. And they are then there's integrations developed for Abloy OS, and that is still work in progress. Then the self-service portal. We have at the moment existing token registration in place, which is idcard.aalto.fi, and we are widening the self-service in that sense that we are taking into use the existing Aalto identity management tool, which is idm.aalto.fi. So it's already in use in Aalto, but we are widening that for the access token registration, as well as the request and granting access to special zones. And we are doing that development in 3 phases, and it has also, of course, the linkage to Abloy OS, and that is also still work in progress. Then for the Chem school staff, students, and visitors, since there is a chemical law in place, those people need to also go through the kind of chemical working safety course, which will be organized either in open learning or in My Courses platform, and we are developing integration so that once the person has taken the course in, for example, open learning, and 75% or more of the questions are right, then there is an automatic approval and automatic access granting to chemical buildings to that person. And then, like I mentioned, we are developing mobile access for co-working customers, and this way piloting the overall mobile access. So this is still work in progress. Yes. I see that there are some questions now. Did I see right?
Yes, here is 2 questions. Has there been any discussion on integrating the access keys with storage locker reservations?
No discussion. That was the first time I heard about it. It's not a bad idea. Maybe if you can take that as a note, that might be as a kind of further development.
The second question is, should student be enrolled as attended to activate him/her access?
Can you read again? I didn't understand.
Should student be enrolled as attended to activate him or her access?
Yes. So if the student is not active student, then he or she will not have the access right in place. So he or she needs to be, if I understood the question right, he or she needs to be active in the university to get the access right. Okay, no other questions. Okay, so then how train? There are lots of different groups that we are offering training. In our project team, we have a person from HR, also HR director is our steering group. So we agreed within HR, they defined that they will do this user guide for HR people about these changes in access control tokens from HR and supervisor point of view for new recruit, and then changes for access for the special zones. So we have already created interim instruction, and that is published in July and then reminded in August. So that will be valid until we have the final user guide in place. Then for the key responsible persons, we have quite many of these key responsible persons per different schools, also in the service units. So for them, we are offering user guide and training. And key responsible persons have a key role in the access granting for the special zones. And for that, we are using this new self-service portal, idm.aalto.fi. For the tenants and on-site service providers, for them we are also offering a user guide and training, and for them they only need to know the brief about the process, but they need to learn how to use this Acre extranet to manage those tokens. For co-working customers, for those we are only offering user guide, and that needs to be very, very simple since the whole access is built on Aalto Space app in the mobile phone, so it needs to be very, very crystal clear and short. Lobby services has a key role in the whole access control process. So for them, we are offering a user guide, very detailed user guide, as well as trainings. And those trainings, we are aiming due to Corona that most of the trainings we offer remotely, but lobby services training we need to offer as a classroom training. And for them, we need to go in detail the new access control process, as well as 2 different applications. So for the Apply OS system, and then this new self-service portal. IT service desk, of course, they will be also one kind of a corner or central point in that sense that all the questions will be directed there. So they need to be very well aware of the process, as well as all of these developed solutions that we have completed, and all the error situations. And then for the security, these are the vartijat, what is those guards which will be monitoring and securing the campus in the night time. So for them, we are also offering quick guide and training, and we are offering iPad for them so that they can easily access this Apply OS system, and then they can verify that if there is a person knocking on the door in the middle of the night, so they can verify that is this a person who should be here and should he or she has access to the building or not. Any questions?
No questions at the moment.
Okay. Then this is our web page. Like I mentioned in the beginning, aalto.fi/access control, and please bookmark that. It is in Finnish, English, and Swedish, and there is a public section that contains information to all those non-Aalto campus users, tenants, and on-site service providers. And then there is the details once you log in. And you can see the installation schedule from there per building, pictures of tokens and readers, where to get tokens, how to register the token, and then brief about the new zones. And we are aiming to build these frequently asked questions as wide as possible, taking into account all stakeholder groups and making sure that this web page is very informative. And then once we have these trainings and the schedule in place, so that will be published there as well. Milla and Pia are the ones who are maintaining the information on the page. Was there some question?
Yes. Does this have any impact on Open Innovation House, Varentia 6?
No, a couple of buildings which are left out from the scope, and those are buildings which are sold or rented out in a way that, for example, VTT would be the one who is managing the access control to the building. So those buildings are left out from the scope from this program. Good question. Yeah, that was it. Do we have now Seija in the call?
Unfortunately not. She had some technical problems and could not attend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Here are anyway the contacts for all of you. So this we are here to help you. Milla and Pia are maintaining all the communications. We have been writing, or Milla and Pia have been writing a lots of different letters that different school communication persons have been sending out, and we are happy to help in anything else related to communications. Access zone definitions has been led by Pasi, and Daniel is also helping there, but of course in all of these access zone definition meetings there is the house responsible person, possibly one or two facilities responsible persons, as well as the technology manager. So Pasi is the one who is facilitating those ones. We are distributing the tokens in lobby services. Tomi is the contact point for that. And Kaverion is doing the installation, and if there are any issues with that, so please be in contact with Pasi or myself. And then Seija is the access policy main contact, but unfortunately could not join today. That was it for the session, and we only used 1 hour. Now we would have 1 hour for the any comments or discussion.
We have one more question. How does an average employee know if they need to do something, and what places they can currently access with their token?
Yes, so for that information, the latest information is found from our webpage. So they can go and see. I can show still this page. So they can see this schedule of these buildings installation. And then there's information that if you already have the access token, for example, to Vare or Kauppis, so you don't have to do anything. So nothing at all. But if you don't have this new access token type, then you need to go and pick one up and then register that by yourself in the self-service portal. And there is an instruction in place in this our web page. We are going to gather those, collect those old tokens at the end of the year, or probably in the beginning of next year. Since, as you can understand, that we are gradually doing the installing building by building, so it means that in the remaining buildings the old token is still valid, but then for all those buildings where the installing has been completed, so no need anymore for new tokens. But it depends by you, as a person. So if you are visiting regularly to the buildings where an old token is valid, then you need to really keep that with you until the end of the year. But then at the end of the year, you should we are then collecting these old tokens away. Anything else?
Satu, Seija here. Now I managed to get in.
Hello.
I have been listening all the time, but I didn't get through.
Okay.
But now I managed. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Would you like to say something about there was a questions about the corona and its impact to the access policy implementation?
Yeah. So I probably know, everybody knows me. I'm Seija Piiponniemi-Lahti, head of security and safety at Aalto University. The corona is very big thing, as we all know, and I think it affects mainly in this project or its implementation, so that it takes a little bit more time before we get to know it, because at the moment or next Monday we will open some doors, but at the same time we don't really allow people to go as freely as we would like to if it would be a normal situation. So I think it takes a little bit longer time to get to know this good new system or policy.
Mm. Are there any questions for Seija now for the corona? Or?
No, not about the corona, but there are two other questions here.
Okay, please.
Is any photo identification needed for employees?
Yeah, that is a good question. Originally, I was thinking that it would be ideal to combine this access token into a phone identification card with so that because these existing photo cards of people, they are not secure devices at all. But since there is this Finnish law about the procurement that couldn't be included in this project. So that will be definitely the continuation project, so that we are then doing another quantum leap in the security when it comes to these photo ID cards. But at the moment, they remain as they are.
Thank you, Satu. Then the other question is, I missed some slides. Wonder what are the advantages of the new access token comparing to the current ones? What about using fingerprinting and face recognition?
The new access tokens security level is higher than the old token security level. So in practice, it means that once you use the new reader and the new token, once you put the token closer to the reader, it's more difficult to somebody else to grasp that information of that access right. With the old tokens, the security level is lower. About face recognition or fingerprint, for that was the first time I heard about them in relation to this project. So no plans at the moment in those areas.
And how about new employees? Should they still get the card with the picture, or is it not relevant?
Yes, so the card with the picture will stay as it is at the moment. But for the new recruits, they just need to go and get this token from the lobby services and register that in the self-service portal. So if I summarize, no changes to the photo card and no changes to physical keys. So they will remain as they are. I would like to add for this Seija's comment, like that in this, our aim was that the access policy would be implemented building by building during this project. But unfortunately, since the corona started sometime here in the March, it has changed. It has changed this project in that sense that we are going to verify how this policy works only when the corona pandemic is over. So the campus will be very much closed still. I don't know for how long. There will be the second wave and possibly the third wave of the corona pandemic. So we just need to go by day. And then I think Ilkka mentioned in the beginning, so we are now implementing this, but we are very flexible with this. If we notice that there is something is not working from the policy perspective, that there is over too many people are then starting to migrate to certain premises, then we can react to that and make those changes. So let's try with this one and then do the changes if needed. But like said, we will see the real situation only when the corona pandemic is over. Is that it? No other questions. There is a question, what is the whole cost or budget of changing the new access token for the whole campus? I guess that means that that we are then offering the same access token for students. So I'm not sure can I say that in details, but at the moment the existing token that we are distributing to staff, that is 10 times more expensive what we are searching that for the token cost to be that we could distribute to all the students. So we are still searching for that. We thought that we found new token type in April or May and started testing that, but that didn't pass our testing. And actually this week, Monday, we found another token that we could start distributing to all the students, but we still need to test that. So there's a lot still developing and kind of marinating or cooking under in the kettle. Yes, a question about when and how can we get rid of the old access cards or those tokens. So those we will start collecting probably in the beginning of next year, and that will be then communicated to all the campus, all the community users. Well, comment about quite many might have mobile app, so that's why we have this new token type, new reader type, so that it is supporting this mobile access. And aim is that once we have the good results of this pilot that we have at the moment, then we will start widening the use for student and staff. But also at the same time offering these tokens if people want to keep still the tokens as well. There's a question, could students use some other compatible NFC near field communications tokens that they already might have? At the moment we have sticked with that so that we have a one solution for students. As you can understand that there are thousands of students, and if we start allowing different kind of tokens, that might not be secure or safe for all of us. So that at the moment that is not possible. But of course we are open to any comments or questions or proposals. So please keep them coming so we can consider them. I'm looking at them. Yeah, we have around 600 new students starting next week. Yes, that is a comment. Yeah, that was in Eng school only. Yeah. There is a comment, limit the amount of token registered per identity. So that will be implemented with this new self-service portal. So with that, there will be one token type allowed per person. So maximum one HSL card, one staff token, and one mobile card. And just as a reminder for all of you, so the HSL card will be students' access token in the future. I know by this, until so far, it has been also used as a staff token, but with this program, it will change so that it will be only students' access token. Yes, there is a comment from Patrick. HSL moving to mobile app also for students, so the mobile phone NFC is the chip HSL will identify. So I think this perhaps solves the issue. Yes, there is lots of things we need to take into account and hopefully find still the best solution. There is a question about the students. How do they get the HSL cards? Do they really need to visit somewhere HSL points? Yes, that is the discussion at the moment that we have been discussing since spring. We are relying that all the students who are coming as a student to the campus, that they have HSL card, and that they either have it as a beforehand or they will need to get it. And if there is a reason that they don't need it, if there is a foreign student like we discussed, for them we are offering these old versions of the HSL card, which are used for not for public transportation but for access only. But we have very limited number of those. I think now I read until the Pia was reading the comments. So thank you everybody for a very good session. I hope this was helping you, and I hope this opened and gave a little bit more information about what is changing. Please be in contact with us in any questions or comments that you have about this change. Thank you everybody, and have a great week, and let's all stay safe. Thank you. Bye bye.